Number 2, Jayden Daniels.
Wow.
Now, Greg came into my office with all the screens where I'm studying and breaking everything down. He was a little bit overwhelmed by the number of televisions in there and all that stuff. But he came into the lab and kind of dressed me down for, Jayden Daniels being on it a little bit. But I'll let him get to that later. But here's the deal. Jayden Daniels had the best rookie season ever for a quarterback. What that does is put pressure on you. The only way, Nick, it doesn't put a ton of pressure on you is if you win the Super Bowl as a rookie. And now you got that monkey off your back. But that means he has got to come out and have a great year this year. We know they've upgraded the offensive line. They add Deebo Samuel. You expect Dan Quinn in his second year there to upgrade the defense. They also made a few additions there. I get it. You don't have Terry McLaurin right now. I think you'll get that done. But even if you don't, nobody's going to give him an excuse for that. If Terry McLaurin is not there, then people still are going to believe Jayden Daniels has to play great football. Yep. And I don't think he has to get him to the NFC title game. I just think he has to get him to the playoffs, play well individually, his numbers are very good individually, and they're a contender. If they lose in the playoffs, he's good. But he does have to come out and avoid the sophomore slump. Jayden, I believe in you. And
okay. Wow. How about no? How about no? It's actually kind of perfect that Harbaugh's right there. Because who's under duress? Certainly not Jayden Daniels. Certainly not Jayden Daniels. Who gave up 7 for 7 in the red zone against the Philadelphia Eagles? That was the defense. That was the defense. Dan Quinn is under way more duress than Jayden Daniels. Even Cliff Kingsbury, management, GM, owner. The Washington Commanders franchise as a whole are under more duress than Jayden Daniels. It is their responsibility to support their superstar quarterback. It is their responsibility to say, we are going to follow the path of the Kansas City Chiefs, not the path of the Cincinnati Bengals, the Buffalo Bills, and the Baltimore Ravens. The difference between winning a Super Bowl and not is the franchise. It is not the difference between Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. It's not. Jalen Hurts and Joe Burrow. It is the franchise. The franchise. And so that is who's under duress. And if you take away his number one weapon in Terry McLaurin and just expect him just to continue just to be great, I don't expect him to now fall off a cliff, of course. But to think that you could just in year 2, again, there's difference here. There's different levels to this. Take away your number one wide receiver to a quarterback who's been in the NFL for 6, 7, 8 years, or we're already putting him in the all-time great conversation, then yes, I hold those quarterbacks to a significantly higher standard. A significantly higher standard. I hold a Josh Allen, a Joe Burrow, a Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, or Patrick Mahomes right now to a significantly higher standard than I do of Jayden Daniels, even though I think Jayden Daniels will be in that group and even pass some of them. But it's year 2 for him. It's year 2 for him. So no, I do not expect him just to be able to overcome all the adversity in year 2, especially if you take away a Terry McLaurin from him. And it's well, you got Deebo. Okay, let's relax on that, okay? I mean, his 2 number 1 weapons would be Zach Ertz and Deebo. They're just a few days away from living in a retirement community, so we can chill. And the duress is make this defense great. Make this defense great, Dan Quinn. That's really what we brought you in here to be able to run a team and give us an elite defense like you've done in years past for multiple franchises. Year 1, you had a whole offseason, you had a draft, etc., etc. Now year 2, whole offseason, whole draft. Come on, man. We're giving you the tools. We're giving you the resources. You got your star quarterback. Come on. I need you to make some magic here on defense here. I want to see some serious upgrades on defense. I want to see really awesome moments and key downs where the defense steps up and you go, yep, that was a huge third down stop. Then you got Jayden Daniels has the ball back, and, boom, he does what he does. But I mean, like, putting the pressure on Jayden Daniels. I mean, listen, it obviously it exists, right? Like, I'm not saying that like Jayden Daniels has no pressure, or that we shouldn't hold him to a high standard, or that there's no like responsibility to be great. Like, don't get that twisted here. Don't get that twisted at all. But in terms of like a distribution of what needs to be done, it's like putting it all on the Commanders. All on the Commanders. And, the best thing that they've done so far, and it's like really no success to that. I mean, it's just because of how it's unfolded so far, is that like Cliff Kingsbury has that continuity. So he's been able to say, like, that's the best gift that they've been able to give, more than bringing in like a Debo or improving the O-line, honestly. Having that continuity there. But now you improve the O-line, that's great, right? Check. Trying to bring in another weapon, check. Might lose a weapon, so it's like, that check now might turn into an X. We got to like wait and see. Had some draft on defense, some free agency, etc., etc. And it's like, okay, now let's see what this all looks like in practice. Let's see what this looks like when they're actually on the field and playing. So that's where I put the pressure on right now. And if I had to put a face to it, it would be Dan Quinn. Mainly because I'm just looking to see what can you do with that defense. When we've seen other coaching staffs get new coaches, like the Chargers, the Eagles, and whatnot, like we've seen defenses be able to really turn a corner very quickly, and yeah, you need a ton of communication on defense. Don't get me wrong, but it's definitely going to be it's just definitely different of what you need offensively, which is why defenses are typically always ahead of offenses in the beginning of the year, just because of the level of communication and timing and rhythm and reps that you need offensively to kind of get things together. And when that's the case in like a short-term type of situation, it just kind of also then gives you a little bit broader of a view of like then how quickly you can kind of turn around a side of the ball, and you can clearly do that on defense. So that is 100% where I'm looking for. And I said that the moment the season ended. The moment the season ended, I was like, yep, let's see what they can do defensively. It's not about getting, and this was before they got Debo, and when I was like, it's not about getting another weapon, getting another this, not getting another that. It's like, I want to see this defense increase. And believe me, I'm Mr. All In on offense. I'm very offensive focused, always want like an offensive head coach and play caller and game designer. Like I am all in on that. But, doesn't mean that defense doesn't matter. And especially when you have a great quarterback like this, you support him by giving him a defense where he doesn't have to now put up 35 points or constantly go for it on fourth down or constantly come from behind. They had to keep coming from behind, not because their offense was necessarily lacking. Giving up 7 for 7 in the red zone. That's why I said, yeah, you had some fumbles. Yeah, you had some turnovers and all of that. No doubt about it. But the red zone defense could never come up with a key stop, a crucial stop, not once in that game. Not once. But those are my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Washington Commanders and Jayden Daniels being under duress? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. It's whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.